Jacob's Quest, and yesterday we got a brand new trailer for Tales of the Empire, which was really a surprise. I don't think anyone out there was, seeing this one coming. None of the scoopers and leakers. Like this just came out of nowhere. So that's pretty cool. And of course, we all kind of thought that we were gonna get a Tales of the Jedi sequel, but it looks like that has become, or maybe always was, Tales of the Empire. And you know what? I'm fine with this direction. Of course, there's still Jedi that I would love for them to have, like, their own little stories, and maybe one day we'll get that. But for now, I'm okay with them, just kind of switching what they're covering every year that they put one of these out, So if next year's is bounty hunters or Sith or whatever else, I'm okay with them just kind of finding those little pockets of, like, here's what happened here, here's what happened there. Sith wise, I know a lot of people kind of have grander ideas, but to be honest, I think this show is meant to fill in little pockets of information, questions that we've had for a while about characters that we already know in canon. So, like, I don't think we would ever get a Revan episode unless we start getting Revan canon content. And then maybe after that, they would be willing to, like, fill in some information. So for this, of course, we'll get into who we got here. But, like the Jedi, it's Count Dooku, we got Yaddle, we got Ahsoka, so, like, it's characters that we already knew in canon, but we still had questions as to, like, what were they doing during this period, So, alright, let's go ahead and jump into this trailer. Let's check it out.
Why do you seek Imperial favor?
Of course, everyone's going crazy over Thrawn here.
My people were all but destroyed.
Yeah, I got questions about
my anger gives me
when
strength.
this is happening.
It is that
But
strength
we'll go into that.
I offer the Empire.
Offer accepted.
I'm here to present you with an opportunity, Barris.
So that is the one from Kenobi, I believe, the Inquisitor there, the yellow one.
Your path is set, Morgan Elsbeth. I will fulfill my destiny.
I wonder when she gets the Beskar staff.
Mercy.
I'm sure we'll figure that out.
But I will help you overcome this weakness. Attack!
I saw some people complaining that the Grand Inquisitor was able to do that, but
Everything comes at
I
a
don't know.
cost. My world has been burning
Grievous just looks cool. We get to see this design,
since I was a child.
which we only ever saw in, like,
You
the
cannot stop
previously on Clone Wars Season 7.
Now you must face one final test. To join us. It is time you meet your new master.
And of course, epic entrance. Again, I'm assuming it's going to be like the Season 7 design that we only saw for like a second.
Long live the Empire.
Pretty cool. And I like that the logo burns away. That's pretty cool. On May 4th. Pretty epic. Okay, cool. Cool stuff. So, I still got some questions that I need answering. So, alright. Morgan Elsbeth. It does sort of feel like in the Ahsoka show, they kind of retroactively made her a Night Sister. It doesn't feel like that's what she originally was when she showed up in Mando Season 2. But, maybe that was always the plan. I don't know. But, she's here and she's hiding. And then we later see her fighting Grievous. Let me see if I can get to that part. Yeah. So we see her fighting Grievous. And of course, the question then becomes, are they saying that this scene here is happening during that episode of Clone Wars when he actually does the attack against the Night Sisters? So, of course, they can easily do that because during that episode, if you remember, like, we see Grievous attack, he's taken on a whole bunch of Night Sisters, and then they awaken all the zombies, and the zombies attack his forces. So they can easily say that, like, oh yeah, during some time off screen when we were not seeing what Grievous was doing in that moment, that's when Morgan had a one-on-one with Grievous, and then somehow she survives. They could easily do that. Now, of course, the other question is, are we gonna see a young Marin? Because, from Fallen Order, like, she was also a Night Sister, and she also has a very similar thing happening with Morgan Elsbeth, where, like, oh, I'm one of the last of my, last surviving members of my clan, and they were all wiped out. It's like the exact same thing. So I'm hoping the show doesn't forget that Marin, a young Marin, should also be here. Like, she was young, she would be younger than Morgan Elsbeth, obviously, right? So, like, I'm hoping the show doesn't forget that, because that's, it's like the same, it's like the same character kind of thing, but she would be here. She would be, like, literally in this moment as well, somehow surviving this massacre by Grievous. So, in any case, pretty cool. Obviously, neither of these characters are going to die in this moment. I saw some people freaking out, like, oh, they're bringing Grievous back, or is this some kind of weird retcon? He should be dead by now. I'm like, it's obviously a flashback. Why? Come on, people. Just give it like a second thought. It's obviously just a flashback. It's not happening after Revenge of the Sith. Anyways, so yeah, should be pretty cool to see. I'm curious if they're saying that this happens during that episode, or if they're going to say it happens sometime later, because I think Grievous does come back to Dathomir one more time to do more damage, so maybe they're saying this happens after that episode. I don't know. Should be pretty cool. And then, of course, we got the Barriss Offee stuff. Yeah, just here, we'll let it play. But, yeah, I saw some people complaining that the Grand Inquisitor was able to, like, throw Barriss around like this, right? But, guys, Barriss Offee, yes, she went, like, kind of toe-to-toe with Anakin, but if you watch that episode again, Anakin handled her pretty easily. And the other thing is that she's a Padawan. She was a Padawan, like, at Ahsoka's level in Season 6, and then she's been in a prison since then. So she has not been getting trained like Ahsoka has for the remaining couple years, right? The other thing, of course, is that Grand Inquisitor, he's, an adult, a grown adult, temple guard Jedi who has now, like, gone full dark side. Of course he'd be able to handle her. Why? I don't understand how that's controversial at all. Like, he has years more training than she does. He was a full-on Jedi Knight Temple Guard. Like, I don't understand why that's a problem, but okay, whatever. I don't know. People get weird. People see characters they know better, and they're like, well, this character should win. It's like, why? Because you know them better? I don't get that. Now, who is Barriss fighting here? I can't tell who this guy is. Or this lady? I don't know. It seems to be... I imagine this is like one of her first missions, like go hunt down a Jedi. And this is, I'm assuming, very early on in the days of the Inquisitor, so, she goes and finds this person. Let's see, there was another shot with all the Inquisitors. Let's see if we can get to it. I think it's later on. Yeah, right over here. So... the other thing, of course, Darth Vader, really cool, but so we have the yellow alien from Kenobi. We have Merrick, of course, from Ahsoka, the one that everyone had all these theories about. And then we have this guy with the bird mask who, he was in Tales of the Jedi, and Ahsoka defeats him, and, like, he deflates, and it's always like, what was he? What was going on there? And, of course, Merrick is just a bunch of green gas stuff, and so, very mysterious as to what was happening. Are they going to finally say if these are just strange alien species we've never seen before, or if this is something else entirely going on here? But it's pretty interesting seeing all these people together. Now, my other thing, kind of like the Marin thing, with like, I hope the show doesn't forget that Marin should also be here. You know who else should be here right now is Reva. And I know some fans out there were like, oh, Reva ruined Kenobi, which no, she did not. Stop, she did not. But she should be here. Like timeline wise, you know, she would be young, and this is early on in the Inquisitors, and they, you know, maybe they'll say that Reva didn't join until after this, if this is like really early on in the Inquisitorius, but like, you know, Kenobi is only 10 years later, and we have to assume Reva's been with the Inquisitors for a while, so like, I don't know, I think we might get a Reva cameo also here, because we have several Inquisitors that they've kind of introduced, especially in the comics. Like, the comics show just like a small handful of Inquisitors that we've just never seen again. So like their canonicity is kind of questionable. But you know, I'm very interested to see what we might get. That's kind of the coolest thing about seeing these little pockets of the Star Wars universe, just answering little questions. Like, there's just tiny little things that they can tie together, from the shows to the video games to the comics. Like all this should work. Now, here's the other thing, is that we see we see the Grand Inquisitor, and I think that's still I forget which Inquisitor sister that's supposed to be, but it's the one from Kenobi. And this is like her test, fighting against whoever this is. So I imagine they kind of have like an Inquisitor boot camp, and then at the end, only one of you gets in. So, you know, good luck. Here, let's see if we can okay. It just appears to be just some alien species. I don't think this is a character we've ever met before, but I imagine Barriss is going to end up having to kill this guy in order to fully join their ranks. So it should be cool. Now, is Barriss... I mean, Vader is obviously going to know exactly who she is, but is Barriss going to realize who he is, you know? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe she'll be able to like sense it, because she'd be really familiar with Anakin's presence, right? So maybe she'd be able to be like, wait a minute, I know exactly who this is. You know, whereas none of the other Inquisitors have that much of a previous knowing of, or at least like they weren't like closely around Anakin like Barriss was, right? So I don't know, but yeah, pretty cool. Lots of potential to see, like, you know, just a bunch of questions that we have. You know, of course, we're going to see Morgan Elsbeth, all her stuff leading right up to that moment in Mando 2. I'm assuming they're going to mention like, oh yeah, we're going to start making the Eye of Soul, and we're going to, you know, do all this and that, you know. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm excited for this one. Of course, I hope that they don't forget little tiny details that should be there. You know, like Marin should be there in the background, Reva should be there in the background, because, you know, timeline wise, and I'm sure there's many other things I'm forgetting. But in any case, yeah, really awesome. I'm glad that they keep on making these, and I hope that they make more different ones in the future. You know, give us a Sith, give us a bounty hunter, give us, I don't know, what else could they make? A Rebels, I guess they could do like a Rebellion, Tales of the Rebellion, I guess. Yeah, pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.